The legendary Final Fantasy series returns, with its newest outing, Final Fantasy XVI. Taking a bold step away from the RPGs of old to deliver stylish action gameplay that enables protagonist Clive Rosfield to be pitted against giant Eikons, encounters grand in scale, in his quest to topple fate itself and save the war-torn realm of Valisthea. While ambitious in nature, the real intrigue lies in exploring how this departure from serious traditions enriches the overall experience.
What's in there?
As epic choirs ring throughout, the curtain opens on a storm of fire, a mighty clash between the two Eikons, Phoenix and Ifrit. We witness Clive gazing into the flames, reminiscent of this pivotal moment that derailed his life 13 years ago and saw him branded as a slave for the Imperial Army. Ever since that harrowing night, when he lost his little brother Joshua, who commanded the power of the Phoenix as its dominant, to the rampage of the dark Eikon Ifrit, his sole purpose in life has been to find the dominant of said beast to exact his revenge. It is here where we take control of our downtrodden hero, who, without a doubt, features as the centerpiece of the game. More so than any of its predecessors, Final Fantasy XVI puts a significant emphasis on Clive's story and his appeal, so much so that this vision shines through to a variety of other aspects. Take combat for example. Gone is any semblance of turn-based battles, replaced with action bombast usually found in games like Devil May Cry and the classic God of War games. All in service to establish an even deeper connection with the main character. As a veteran fan of the series, I was amazed by that uncompromising approach. No more half measures like wait mode known from previous entries. Final Fantasy XVI fully embraces its newfound identity as an action game. Change for the sake of change, however, can be detrimental to a game's design, and comes with the added risk of deterring away old fans. There needs to be a purpose behind such decisions. In this instance, it was to immerse players in Clive's journey and allow them to engage more directly with his narrative. Possessing the ability to channel other Eikons and their powers gives Clive an edge in battle, and together with his trusty hound Torgal, who can be commanded to assist with juggling critters or spike them to the ground from mid-air, the player is left with many choices on how to tackle hostile encounters. Basic sword strikes and special iconic skills flow swiftly into each other, opening numerous opportunities to rain down devastating combos on adversaries of all forms and sizes, all while maintaining a stylish appearance. Utilizing Garuda's Wicked Wheel ability to transfer enemies to mid-air, only to proceed to crush them to the ground with Titan's Earthen Fist using upheaval, never ceases to get the adrenaline pumping. Although some of the smaller enemy types may feel a tad repetitive, and tracking certain flying varieties can be somewhat challenging, the rush of overpowering them with godlike strength remains endlessly satisfying. Several advanced techniques like perfect parries and dodges, jump cancelling and animation cancelling heighten the ceiling for skillful play even further. Having clocked in a surplus of hours across multiple playthroughs, I have never grown tired of experimenting with Clive's toolkit and striving for higher scores in arcade mode. The stellar boss design and higher difficulties unlocked upon finishing the game keep me from laying down the controller to the detriment of my time with other games. I was fully enamored with the game's intense combat, though it was the monumental Eikon fights that forced me to pause the game time and again, catching my breath in awe. Having drawn the comparison earlier, the sheer grandeur of these skirmishes harkens back to the bygone era of the first God of War games. It's plausible to say that Final Fantasy XVI blitzes past even that, and arrives at the positively ridiculous realm of what a game like Asura's Wrath managed to do with its set pieces. Composer Masayoshi Soken amplifies this like none other, with an unmatched soundtrack. Tranquil location themes that serenade your ears exist next to pulse-pounding boss tracks that perfectly encapsulate the rush of pummeling a mountain-sized opponent. Marrying the exhilarating score with the cinematic prowess results in nothing less than some of gaming's greatest highlights. It is between mauling enemies and tumbling with gigantic Eikons where the player is warranted some downtime. Side questing in the twin realms of Valisthea involves running up to NPCs and usually ending up with a job as a gatherer for materials or exterminator of the local fauna. In short, the quest structure is very cut and dry, but succeeds as a vehicle for character and world building. Nearing the end of the game reveals optional content that involves some of the most prominent companions and doesn't fail to jack up the emotional stakes for the main cast. Luckily, the stiffness present in side quests is not representative of the pacing one can expect on the main path. On the contrary, apart from a little hiccup in the middle, Clive's tale is incredibly well paced. Set against the backdrop of a dark and dying world, we behold his relentless conquest of foe after foe. Within myriads of masterfully crafted cutscenes, Clive is brought to life by his actor Ben Starr, who provided an utterly gripping performance, stretching from gut-wrenching moments of tearfulness to the electric excitement of combat. This range is pivotal because Clive's mission is painstaking, driven by the desire to overcome past mistakes and carve a path forward for humanity and his comrades. Among his party, we encounter none other than Sidolphus Telemann, arguably the finest incarnation of Sid yet. His charismatic quips, drenched in gallows humor, are sure to capture the hearts of players. If the superb writing doesn't do it, the peerless voice work unquestionably will.
There. Clive doesn't have your nose, I said. He'd stumble off a cliff, I said.
That's the trouble with a nose like mine. Can't help sticking it where it's not wanted. But if it wasn't for you two, my sniffing days would be over. Thank you. Truly.
The whole experience is exceptionally well polished, if we don't take some frame rate issues in performance mode into account, which are fortunately absent in quality mode. Aside from that blemish, Final Fantasy XVI is one of the rare titles deserving to be called a true next-generation exclusive, based on how it looks and the spectacle it conjures up on the screen during icon battles. Marred a little by clunky side quests and limited exploration, it keeps a consistent tone, nailing almost every other crucial aspect. Honoring the core values of its series, Final Fantasy XVI changes up the game with a bold vision and ends up delivering a package that oozes ambition. A dark fantasy epic that succeeds in propelling the single-player side of Final Fantasy out of the rut it was stuck in and into a new era. The fast-paced and above all fluid combat, the mature tone, the captivating script and a best-in-class score, paired with standout cinematic sequences, have made this an easy game to recommend to anyone and an amazing entry point for newcomers. Clive's story is as agonizing as it is memorable and heartfelt. His struggle to deliver humanity unto a new tomorrow will linger long after the credits roll.
Them
matter how bitter the truth that awaits me, I will press on. Come, Ifrit. Show me who you truly are.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on gaming reviews and updates from Moonflow, don't forget to subscribe and like.